Overwatch Esports is full of extremely memorable and crazy games. Whether it be tournament finals or 7-map regular season games, there was absolutely no shortage of great matches. A while back, I talked about 5 of the most iconic matches in Overwatch League history, but there are so many great games that I knew that there was more than enough for a part 2. In fact, I have enough great matches for a part 3 and beyond, so if you want to see that or anything else from me, or if you just like the Overwatch League, consider subscribing to this channel. If you think you're subscribed, please double check, as only 25% of you are actually subscribed, and it would really help me out. Plus, you get more Overwatch Esports and Overwatch League content in your feed, so it's a win-win. With that said though, let's talk about a personal favorite match of mine, that being the historic 2020 Toilet Bowl between the Houston Outlaws and the Boston Uprising. There is truly no match quite like the Toilet Bowl. Often regarded as the worst Overwatch League match ever played, this was a crazy 7-map slugfest between 2 of the worst teams in the league that season. At the time, neither of these teams had a win, and by the end of the season, these 2 teams would have a mere combined 8 wins between them. This match was, well, a disaster, and both teams were seemingly trying to lose this one. In terms of a pure content perspective, this was easily the best and most entertaining match in the Overwatch League's career. The early maps seemed to be going in the Boston Uprising's favor. They won Map 1, tied Map 2, and won Map 3, giving them an early 2-0 lead heading into Map 4. There may have been some pretty sloppy plays, but it seemed like they were going to get it done for their first win of the season. But in Map 4, on Blizzard World, in an iconic moment, Jerry, the hitscan player for the Boston Uprising, fell off the map on his own accord, leaving Brent and Josh to absolutely lose it. And because of this, the map ended in a draw.
Joust onto Muma, he just wants to hold on to Axiom. It's falling very, very, very low. Self-destruct into the backline. Jerry! He tried to make the moves. Jerry! Oh my word, he falls to his death. The counter charge by Muma. And Houston are going to hold on. Jerry. Oh, that's unfortunate.
After this straight-up clown fest of a map, the Outlaws ended up taking away Oasis, even with Muma trying his absolute best to lose the game.
They can't establish control of the high ground too much.
Nice sleep. Open Earth Shatter here for Muma. Instead he's going to opt for the charge. Muma, where you taking him? Up into no man's land and he's pinned backwards. What have I witnessed? What am I seeing? Why? Truly living up to this battle of the ages between Boston Uprising and the Houston Outlaws.
Jex has got 3 kills in this fight somehow, some way. He's dragging the Houston Outlaws single-handedly
He says,
back.
if you can't do it, I will.
The Outlaws would also take Nepal in a really close 2-1 win, and suddenly, it was tied up as the 2 teams headed into Map 7. This match had already been going on for hours, and on Lijiang Tower, these 2 teams finally ended this straight-up awful series in a crazy close finish for the Boston Uprising, winning this first of 3 series after a grand total of 7 games. This would be one of the Boston Uprising's only 2 wins of the whole season, and the Toilet Bowl would go down forever as one of the best and worst matches in Overwatch League history. Moving on from a terrible match to one of the best, we have the 2020 Asia May Melee Finals, the first and only 7-map reverse sweep between the Seoul Dynasty and the Shanghai Dragons. This match was another great matchup in that iconic rivalry between the Dynasty and the Dragons, and both teams had already fought their way through the bracket to make it to the finals. The Dynasty were eagerly looking for their first title, and the Dragons were looking for their second. The meta in this tournament was mainly Echo Sombra Dive with Ana Brig in the backline. However, a lot of teams were subbing Sombra out for Ashe, and because of this caused the Dragons to have Lip and Fearless subbed out for most of the first half, being replaced by Stand1 and Dion, with Lip only playing in Map 1, and because of all this, Shanghai ended up going down early 0-3 to the Dynasty. In Map 4 though, Fearless and Lip were subbed in, and they made a serious impact. The Dragons were able to take the following 4 maps straight, and gave us the first and only 7-map reverse sweep in one of the best matches in Overwatch League history. Not only did these substitutions help with sheer player quality, but it seemed to awaken Fleda's third eye, because on Map 6, he hit one of the most iconic Widowmaker clips of all time.
But Brad Fleda now moving over onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot. I do not believe what we have just witnessed. The Shanghai Dragons are elite.
Oh my God, what was that from Fleta? He just hops into the spawn, whips onto the Widowmaker, and pops out 4 headshots. You're not allowed to do that. That's clutch with consistency. That's bonkers.
This ended up with the insane reverse sweep that crushed the spirits of all Dynasty fans, and was the beginning of the Shanghai Dragons' soon-to-be dominance. Before we continue, please take a moment to check and see if you're subscribed. It really helps me out, and it allows me to make more content on the Overwatch League and Overwatch esports, so if you like these kind of things, consider subscribing. With that said though, let's actually continue talking about the Dragons and the Dynasty, because this next match I want to talk about is yet another one of their many amazing clashes. This time being the 2022 Kickoff Clash Lower Bracket Finals. This match took place in the first tournament after Shanghai won the 2021 championship, where the newly revamped Dynasty squad was hoping to take down the reigning champs. The Dynasty had recently acquired several new players like Smurf, Vindame, and Stalker, and they were looking to take down the Dragons. After a wild 3-2 first game against each other in the upper bracket, which the Dragons did win, they met again in the lower bracket, with the winner moving on to the grand finals. This match was absolutely a Prophet legacy game, with him going absolutely nuclear throughout the whole series, especially on map 5, Ilios, where Prophet went straight up wild in the last fight.
And so far, he's not finding too much value. Needs to get the pulse bomb up. He now has it. Pops the recall. Is looking for the target. Stick comes in. He's going to find Vinham. That's going to be the rally out of the fight. Creative is gone as well. There's no supports available for the side of the Dynasty. The self-destruct comes in, breaks Fleta out of the mech. The Helix rockets kill him off. And Prophet in the meantime found 2 with the pulse bomb. He got Legion on. He got Void. He gets his Ayaki. And that is going to be the point. Ticking down. They cannot get there in time for the swap to the Tracer. And the Dynasty will take us to ruins to decide it all.
The Dynasty were able to beat the Dragons, and later took home the Kickoff Clash, which was their first and only title in franchise history. This was a fantastic series, and it would be only one of many great matches between these two teams.
You can get bigger grabs, however, you see that Smurf is currently isolated. He's not playing with anyone except Prophet, so it can only be a 2-man grab, and actually, it's a huge amount of kills.
It's catastrophic. He's going to drop the hammer. He's looking for the sun. I think that one went a little bit wide. Limp now, popping the attack visor. Will find Vinham. That takes the beat out of the fight. He's playing a ring around the rosy here with the creative. Now the wall coming through as well. Just trying to keep protected. Limp, however, starting to gun them down, but no one can make it in time.
Taking a break for the Shanghai Dragons, this next match took place during the 2021 playoffs, midway through the Atlanta Reign's lower bracket run. Fresh off of their Countdown Cup victory, the LA Gladiators were hoping to keep their playoffs hope alive with a run through the lower bracket, but a scrappy Reign team that they had previously beat was standing in their way. After a great map 1 by the Glads, the Reign made a very surprising choice to pick Hanamura as map 2. This caught myself and most people off guard, because in the most recent tournament, the Gladiators actually set a record against the same Reign team on Hanamura. But, much to everyone's surprise, the Reign clearly had a game plan and were able to take Hanamura in a dominant fashion. The Reign carried their momentum and followed it up with a really nice win on King's Row to take the lead in the series. But the Gladiators were able to bounce back with a pretty dominant win on Dorado to tie it up. On map 5, the Atlanta Reign got an early 1-0 lead, but the Gladiators were fighting really hard to keep their playoff hopes alive. In the end though, the Atlanta Reign just seemingly were too much for them to handle, and they were able to take map 5 and advance to a top 4 placement. This was a crazy back and forth match between these two, and they were all season long rivals, and it was just simply a great match to watch. Truly an iconic moment.
And Birdring getting close to the EMP. OT triggered. Birdring is the key.
Down! Space D-Mech, this could be it. The Gladiators, they've come so far for this. They're going to need something massive. The post bomb, it's denied. The Immortality Field is there. And the Atlanta Reign, also healthy. Even with this EMP, is it even going to be enough? Birdring solo has to get out of the fight, and now it is danger. Kai just shooting down every single target that tries to keep this one burning. And it is not enough. The Atlanta Reign will be moving forwards in the lower bracket, and they have sent the Gladiators home.
The final match I want to talk about today is yet another iconic match featuring the Shanghai Dragons. This time being the 7-map crazy banger series fought between them and the Dallas Fuel in the 2021 June Joust Finals. These two had already been established as rivals in the season from the May Melee, when the Dallas Fuel won their first stage title in a big win over the Dragons earlier in the year. This time though, the Dragons wanted revenge, but it seemed like the Fuel had this one in the bag. Dallas won 3 out of 4 of the first maps, and had a 3-1 lead heading into Busan, but something here changed. Fate on Wrecking Ball was getting some crazy value, and the Lip Fleta Echo Reaper duo was just nasty. Fate was doing so much on the ball that he actually caused Fearless to switch off of Winston onto Wrecking Ball, but he just wasn't able to compete with Fate on the Rodent. The Dragons ended up winning back-to-back maps until they arrived on the iconic Map 7 Junkertown, where Lip straight up locked in, and on the Reaper he was able to get some crazy value. The Dragons were able to come back for a crazy win, and Brent and Josh absolutely lost their minds.
Able to rely on for a little bit of sustain. Shanghai only get one more team fight in checkpoint B. If they could find an early kill on Fate, that would also be enormous, or maybe even Fleta before he gets duplicate.
The mines going to be clearing the point a little bit there. The overtime is still ticking. They have to commit bodies to it, but the power drive is big. Self-destruct coming over the top. It's going to be forcing them away, and now the fight is taking place within the buildings. A lot of damage taking place there. Fearless having to use the adaptive shields to stay alive. Coalescence on top. Power drive is big. Death Blossom's committed. Lip so low. He's built up the Death Blossom. Now he's committing it so low, but his team healing him up in the middle of it, keeping him alive. Another big bomb over the top, pushing them away. Dallas on the brink of destruction here, but the bomb from Sparkle is good. Fate will fall. Another pile driver. It is chaos. It is pandemonium, but they are persevering somehow. Lip trying to put an end to it. 3 kills for Lip. Are you kidding me? Forcing the fade away as well. Lee Jae-Gon coming back in now with the sound barrier. Just needs to clear off this point. The mines from Fearless. It's desperation now for Dallas to try and do it. But the Shanghai Dragons are holding strong now. Only a couple of players left standing, and it's not enough. The Shanghai Dragons have done it.
The Dragons would end up steamrolling the rest of the season from here, and would take home the title at the end of the season. There have been so many crazy matches throughout the Overwatch League, and these are just a few of them. So, if you want to see more, subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. If you like my stuff, there are multiple playlists on my channel full of content just like this one. I upload Overwatch esports video weekly, so subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. Next week's video is going to be a little bit delayed, as I'm actually going to be having nasal surgery in a few days, so apologies in advance for that. I really appreciate the support I've had recently, it means a lot to me, so as always, thank you all so much for watching.